We all love a good success story, and it's natural to think that advice from someone who's made it big is worth its weight in gold. After all, if they've succeeded, they must know something we don't, right? Well, maybe not always. The advice from successful people might not always hit the mark, and here's why. Let's rewind 20 years back. The key ingredient at that time for a successful business might have been to have a fax machine, to make sure your website looked fresh, and have a store in the right part of town. Obviously, since then, the world's changed a lot. What worked in the early 2000s might not be helpful at all today. Take the dot-com boom, for example. A tech entrepreneur from that era might offer insights that were spot on for that time and less relevant now. What's trendy and effective has evolved, so sticking too closely to old school advice might not get you too far. My name's Wasim. This channel is all about improving yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally. It's called the Lifehack Revolution because I give you shortcuts in your path to becoming the best version of yourself. If you haven't done so already, click subscribe. Now back to the video. One big issue with asking successful people for advice is that their experiences are so specific. They've succeeded for a reason, but that reason often involves a unique mix of timing, connections, and sometimes just plain luck. They might share their go-to strategies, but these can be tailored to a context that is totally different to your own. Successful people often talk about their big wins and the traits that help them get there, like relentless perseverance or a clear vision. While these traits are important, they might gloss over other factors like market conditions or even the mistakes that they made along the way. So instead of asking what a successful person would do in your shoes, try to look into the decisions that they actually made and the reasoning behind them. This approach gives you a deeper understanding of their journey. How did they handle challenges? What factors did they consider when making key decisions? What did they learn from their missteps? By exploring this decision-making process, you get a clear picture of their thought patterns and the strategies that work for them, which can offer more meaningful guidance than just copying their actions. The main takeaway here is that success isn't a one-size-fits-all deal. While stories and advices from successful folks can be inspiring, they might not always apply to your specific situation. Look at their experiences in the context of their time and the factors that influence their decisions. For example, if a successful entrepreneur from the early 2000s talks about marketing strategies, consider how those strategies might have changed with today's social media algorithms, data analytics, or influencer trends. On the same topic, I'm going to talk about epistemic relativism. This is a philosophical stance asserting that knowledge and truth are not absolute, but instead relative to cultural, historical, and personal contexts in which they arose. Philosophers such as Thomas Kuhn with his idea of paradigm shifts in scientific knowledge and Richard Rorty with his anti-essentialistic stance have contributed to discussions around relativism. This perspective has significant implications for how we interpret and apply advice from successful people. Understand that any advice is deeply rooted in the specific context of the advisor. It's valuable to appreciate their journey, but also crucial to consider how their context differs from yours. Essentially, it's great to learn from the experiences of successful people, but remember to focus on understanding their decision-making processes and the broader trends that shape their success. By doing so, you can better adapt their insights to fit to your own journey and make decisions that work for today's world.